What is your net worth? If someone were to ask you that right now, would you be able to tell them? Would it be $900, $1,000,000, $10,000, negative $40,000? It varies so much. And if you want to have a high net worth and be a high net worth individual, you need to understand what it is, and you need to be able to plan how to get there, or else you will never get there because you don't even know what you are worth right now. Your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. Your assets are financial, non-financial items that you own that have value. Your liabilities are what you owe towards external, like a bank or the company that lent you the mortgage, the car loan, whatever, note that you have. Whatever you owe are your liabilities. So this prevents your assets, some of your assets at least, from becoming free and clear to you. So you want to get rid of all your liabilities because it will reduce or increase your net worth. So there's two ways. You can increase your assets or reduce your liabilities, or you can do both, and those will increase your net worth based on this formula. Now, high net worth individual, try to get to that goal. That probably won't mean much 15, 20 years from now. It might be 3 million or 5 million with inflation. Let's look at some interesting statistics. Your net worth goes up until you start to retire, and then it goes back down because you kind of have to chip away at that and live off it, because Social Security is never enough, and it probably won't be there if you're a millennial or something. Think about that down the road. Our kids are probably not going to have it unless they greatly increase taxes to keep that afloat, and then still just take out of it and borrow from it. I'm not going to get into that. The median income is going to increase because, as you get older, you earn more money, you're more specialized, whatever. And then you get older, you start going towards 64, 5, you start either tapering off, or you're completely retired, or you go part-time because, we get old. Now, the age, this is interesting. This is the same graph as the first, so it has a median net worth, and it shows next to it the median net worth if you had not owned any equity in the home. Or if you hadn't owned a home, your net worth would literally be half or more, actually, in this whole chart. If you look at 75 plus, it's almost 4 times larger when you actually own property. And that's the numbers right there. So keep that in mind. If you're renting, you're just paying a landlord, increasing their net worth vastly. But if you're at least paying yourself, you have an asset there that's worth value that will make you money down the road. Okay, let's get started. We're going to build out this model. So we're going to start here on the left and work our way to the right. Liquid assets, those are assets that are readily available to access in, for example, in case of an emergency. So you take items like your checking balance, how much you have in savings. I'm just going to be putting in numbers here. Cash value of life insurance if you have whole life, which is a rip-off. So let's say you have some other readily accessible items here, and you take your household assets and possessions, and these are non-financial items that hold value. So let's say you own a house for $300,000 and your car is worth $10,000. Furniture, I never use the amount that I actually paid. I divide it basically by 4, the amount I actually paid, because you're not going to get the same amount back. Electronics, probably should divide it by 5 or 8 because they become obsolete very quick. So your assets are at 316, and you're saying, oh wow, I got a lot of money, right? Savings certificates, let's say you have 1,000. Stocks and bonds, we'll say you have 5,000. IRAs, 401ks, you've been contributing, you have $7,000, and you have some money in Vanguard in the S&P. And if you have a kid, you might have a 529 plan for their college. So you might have, we'll say $3,000. I don't want to make this too big. Precious metals, you got some gold coins, great. Anything else? You have a nice painting that's valued at $700. So you can see that your total assets are $343. All right, guys. Now we built out our assets, and we're going to look at our liabilities, and we have our current liabilities, or things that you will have to pay off within about a year. And some people don't, and they carry a charge on a credit card. So we'll use some interesting statistics. The average credit card of an American who's almost at no net worth is $10,348. Charge card, we'll just put another $2,000 on there. Actually, we'll put $3,000. Yeah, we'll put $2,800 because the average household has $13,000 in credit card debt. So we'll add that into the charge card. Personal loan. You took out a personal loan to put as a down payment for a car. other loan, you can owe Uncle Bobby $300 for a Super Bowl bet. You still owe somebody that money. So now you have your long-term liabilities or debt that you will be paying for a longer time with, for example, a fixed amortized payment like a mortgage. So you bought your home for $300,000, it's worth $300,000, and the mortgage, after you put down some money and after you've been paying it off for a few years, is only $200,000 now. The average car payment from an independent dealer or car purchase amount is $17,000, but since we already put $10,000 as the value, we'll just put $8,000 as your remaining balance. Student loan debt. Now that's one that will affect your net worth drastically. So right now you're $120,000, and let's say you are the average American in student loan debt, 7.2. That'll drop it down. So $31,000 is the average student loan debt as an American, and that drops down your current net worth. So if you are a doctor or something, you might even end up $300,000 in debt and have a negative net worth. Luckily, because their income at graduation is much higher than non-doctors, they can change that pretty easily by working on this. So we will leave this at $31,172, and we can see that the net worth is the difference between the total assets, what you own, and or think you own, total liabilities. Do you own that house? No. You stop paying, the bank's going to take it. Do you own that car? No. You stop paying, the bank's going to take it. So you got to make sure you make your payments and know how much you owe and who you owe what. Okay, so let's say you took this calculator and you found out your net worth tonight, and you found out that you were worth $89,780, and I'll send you this calculator if you message me, and you put this in there and you say, I want to know in 15 years what it takes to become a high net worth individual with $1 million. So this breaks it down and tells you that every year you have to grow your net worth by 17%. And based off compound interest, miracle of compound interest, you see that number gets higher every year that you have to grow to meet that demand of 17%. So you have your $89,000. At the end of year one, you need to have $105,000 in net worth to achieve that 17%. So you would have had to have grown your net worth by $15,651. And the next year, 123 is your next goal, almost 124. That's a growth of 18,000, and so forth until you hit $1 million. And you see that here you are growing it by quite a bit every year. And you may think that's crazy, but this mortgage is going to go down. It's going to be paid off. These loans, all this credit card debt should be paid off. Your mutual funds, if you put enough money into it, that'll grow. So everything's going to grow with the power of compound interest, and we'll with strategic planning, you can get there. So how do we plan? So forget about all this. Don't even look at this. This is kind of scary, when you look at it. So we're going to fix that 89,000, and we're going to say, okay, in year one we need to have a targeted growth of $15,651, and then we'll worry about year two when we get there, right? Let's look at what we have to do. Credit card, we need to pay that off. Get a second job, go deliver pizzas, pay that off. Pay that charge card off too. All right, $13,000 in 1 year. You can work an extra job, you can pay that off, right? Or reduce your expenses. So all this current liability can go away. It can go away. That snowball, total money makeover, do all that stuff, right? And hey, look at that. You are $1,000 away from your target net worth that 1 year. $1,000 away. Your vehicle loan will go down in that year. Make a few extra payments. Of course, the value of the vehicle will also decrease as well in that 1 year. So we kind of have to account for that. And I mean, we're pretty much already there. And then we can start investing in mutual funds. Put a few $1,000s in there. The 529 plan for your kid. You put an extra $500 that you just squirreled away from their birthday money, and you're already at $106,000. There you go. Next year, if you still have liabilities, you should offload them some more. Maybe pay off the car. There you go. Of course, the vehicle is going to go down in value, but your home should go up in value unless you're in Illinois. We'll say went up to 310, and the mortgage will also go down in value or go down in amount. And I didn't do this for the first year, but That's fine. We'll say you're at 194,000, and that's just a guess. And your student loan debt, you're gonna start attacking your student loan debt. That you should be attacking as well. And you look over here, holy cow, hey, $130,000. And I know this seems easier said than done, and I'm kind of really simplifying it, but you can sit down and create a strategy, and you can look at your incomes and your expenses, and you can tweak everything, and you can actually do this. And you just keep doing it every year, meeting your goal. Yes, it will get harder. Maybe if you invest properly, it won't become harder because these mutual funds will grow. All this 529 plan, these metals, if you keep pumping money in here, this grows with the market as well, not just in cash. And then eventually you will get there. So that's kind of how net worth works. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line. If you want this template, drop me a line. I'll send it directly to you. And with enough planning, you can become a millionaire, and I hope to become one, as well. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.